There are moments when life feels suspended in the air, as if something is about to happen, but it has no name, no shape, no clear direction. A subtle feeling, almost silent, begins to rise within us. Something shifts in the rhythm of the days, in the encounters with others, in the words that once comforted and now seem empty. And even without fully understanding what's going on, we feel, with the body, with the soul, with the heart, that something profound is approaching. Perhaps you are in that exact space right now, sensing that life somehow is trying to tell you something, that the signs are there, in the everyday, in the simplest and most invisible details. But what are these signs trying to reveal? And why now? When the soul is ready, life begins to change, not because we want it to, but because we need it to, because the essence no longer fits the old form, because the time of transformation has come. And usually, this transformation doesn't begin with clarity, but with discomfort. A gentle yet persistent discomfort, not a pain, but an invitation, a silent call that leads us step by step into a new version of ourselves. If you feel that you no longer recognize yourself in the same conversations, the same places, the same desires, maybe that isn't confusion. Maybe it's clarity wearing a different disguise. Maybe it's the beginning of a change that started within quietly, but with strength. During these periods, the mind often resists, clinging to what is known, what is predictable. It wants to understand everything, label everything, plan everything. But the soul doesn't want explanations. It wants expansion. It wants freedom. It wants truth, even if that means letting go of what no longer resonates. This is why transformation often begins with a sense of misalignment. A mismatch between what we live on the outside and what we feel on the inside. Emotions fluctuate, fatigue intensifies, relationships shift, and even silence gains a deeper meaning. It's as if life is starting to reorganize itself at a new frequency. And everything that no longer vibrates at that frequency begins slowly to fade. But know this movement is not an ending. It is a beginning disguised as chaos, a rebirth that asks for stillness, that asks for listening, that asks for presence, and above all, that asks for trust, even when your eyes cannot yet see, even when the path hasn't fully revealed itself. What I will share with you now are 5 subtle but powerful signs that your life is about to go through a profound shift, and not just any change, but one aligned with your deepest truth, your most intimate awakening, your most silent healing. Before we go further, take a deep breath. Feel this moment. Sense your body right now. Perhaps it's already trying to speak to you. Perhaps what you've been searching for out there is already whispering to you from within. In the next part, we'll explore these 5 signs and how they reveal that the transformation you've been waiting for has already begun. Sometimes signs don't shout, they whisper. And because they are subtle, they can easily be mistaken for tiredness, distraction, or just a difficult phase. But when we learn to listen with the soul, we realize they are invitations. Invitations to cross the invisible threshold that separates who we were from who we are ready to become. A constant feeling of tiredness, even without a clear reason. It's not just physical exhaustion. It's a weariness that rises from within. The body may seem fine, but the soul feels drained, as if something inside is begging for rest, for stillness, for silence. This deep fatigue is often the unconscious mind's way of stopping the excess of doing, to draw us back into being, so we can honestly face what we've been ignoring for too long. Fatigue, in this case, is not a sign of weakness, but of sensitivity. It's the soul saying, I can't continue in the same rhythm, the same path, the same repetition. It's a call to listen to what has been buried beneath the noise of daily life. 2. A natural distancing from people, places, or habits that once felt essential. No fights, no big explanations. Some relationships simply dissolve like leaves falling in autumn. Places that once felt comforting begin to feel empty. Conversations lose their meaning. Certain habits no longer bring pleasure. It's not about rejection. It's not about superiority. It's about frequency. It's about resonance. When your inner vibration changes, everything misaligned with that new energy begins to fall away. Not because something is wrong, but because something is evolving. And this distancing, as strange as it may feel, is a space opening. A space for the new. A space for what matches who you are becoming. 3. Emotions rising to the surface without a clear reason. Tears appear without warning. A quiet sadness lingers in ordinary moments. A different kind of sensitivity touches everything, and it can be confusing. Why am I like this? What's wrong with me? But nothing is wrong. What's happening is emotional purification. The soul is cleansing the excess, letting go of what no longer serves. And in that cleansing, old emotions emerge. Wounds long buried ask to be seen. Forgotten pains ask for care. Emotion is not the problem, it is the messenger. It points to where you still need tenderness, to where you're still carrying unnecessary weight, to where you must return, not to stay, but to finally release. 4. A deep need for silence, solitude, and introspection. Something within begins to pull away from noise. Shallow talk becomes irritating. Too much information feels overwhelming, and silence, once uncomfortable, becomes sacred. This longing to be alone is not escape. It is healing. The soul is returning home. It's asking for space to reorganize the truth. It's rebuilding its inner foundation. And in that stillness, new insights arise. Intuition awakens. Forgotten dreams start to stir again. Silence becomes fertile. A spiritual womb where the next version of yourself is being formed. 5. A strange feeling of being lost, yet at peace. It's a paradox. Outwardly, everything feels uncertain. Old certainties vanish. The path ahead is unclear, but inwardly, there is calm, a gentle trust. As if even without knowing what's next, you somehow know you're exactly where you need to be. This peace without reason is alignment. It's when the soul, even without proof, recognizes that it's on the path. And that kind of peace doesn't come from logic. It comes from connection, from surrender, from the silent intimacy with something greater, something that cannot be explained, but can be felt. These signs are not failures. They are not flaws. They are compasses. They are evidence that your consciousness is expanding, that the old is making room for the new, that life is quietly but firmly guiding you towards something more true, more light, more yours. In the final part of this video, we will explore how to welcome these signs with softness, clarity, and trust. How to walk through this sacred transition with presence and a sense that even now, even in the unknown, everything is quietly finding its place. When great change approaches, the mind seeks to understand, but the soul simply wants to feel. It doesn't crave quick answers. It longs for presence. It doesn't want promises. It wants truth. And above all, it needs permission. Permission to shift, to release, to become. If these signs are unfolding in your life, don't rush the process. Don't force meaning where there is still mystery. Instead, soften. Soften into what is being born. Soften into what is fading. Soften into what is still undefined. This phase is not a detour. It is the path itself. It is the sacred space where the old begins to give way to the true, where the soul sheds what no longer fits and slowly returns to its original rhythm. And this return isn't always graceful at first glance, but it is sacred, because it is real. You are not losing your life. You are finding yourself inside it. You are not drifting away from others. You are coming home to yourself. You are not becoming weaker. You are becoming whole. And in this sacred process, the smallest gestures become portals. A deep silence before sleep. An honest gaze into the mirror. A peaceful no. A tear that flows without shame. None of this is weakness. All of it is healing. So even if it hurts, even if it confuses you, trust. Trust what's being removed. Trust what's being revealed. Above all, trust what's being rebuilt inside you, with more presence, more light, more love. This is your crossing. No one else can walk it for you. But you are not alone. What is awakening in you is awakening in many. There is a larger movement, quiet yet powerful, rising in hearts everywhere. Now I invite you to honor this moment. Don't minimize what you feel. Recognize the depth of what is unfolding within you. If this message spoke to your soul, write the word rebirth in the comments. Let it be our sacred code, a reminder that even in the darkness, life is already blooming in silence, and if you feel that someone else needs to hear this, share it. Let this message reach those who are ready to remember, because when one soul awakens, it calls others to awaken too. The change you've been waiting for has already begun, and the new you've been searching for is already within you.